Okay, so I would like to talk more, Tiffany, about the timeline with when Parker started saying he didn't feel well. And let's talk more about that because it's so important to catch things as quickly as you can.
Absolutely. The day that Parker got in the car was August 18th. It was a Monday. And that was the day that we went to the doctor that afternoon. I drove him straight to the doctor and we were given an antibiotic for an infection, what they thought was an infection. They tested him for COVID, flu, mono, strep. Everything came back negative. Still kept him on it. The following week, we were told to go to a surgeon. We had talked about perhaps doing a biopsy. They told us initially that we would just wait for those 4 weeks. And then the following day is when his doctor had admitted him to the hospital. That is when we did all of the infectious disease testing through the Carious test, met with a ton of doctors, an entire team was helping us. As those tests started coming back negative, that is kind of when the table started to turn a little bit. And within a couple of days, we were sent to Miami by helicopter.
Now, did you think you had the flu? What did you think you were feeling?
I knew something was wrong. I just had no idea what. Like, I knew it wasn't just like some cold or some fever. I thought it was an autoimmune disease when they told me that. Like, when they told me the possibilities, that's like kind of what I thought it was.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be easily confused with other things.
Never think I was going to have cancer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So within a week of showing symptoms at home, low-grade fever, night sweats, back pain, 1 week, within that 1 week, then you were in a hospital setting and then symptoms started to get worse. And then from that second week, we then were transferred to Miami for the third week. And then that's when we got our diagnosis.
And then low-grade fever, you could, poo that for so many other things.
He was trying to go out on the boat and I'm like, no. He's like, you told me I could. I'm like, you have even just a low-grade fever.
Yeah.
But it never went above 100.6, which to me, low-grade fever was a big symptom for you, I would say. And then your night sweats, right?
I would just wake up with like puddles of sweat.
And prior to that, the other thing to really keep, to think about is the week before that, where were you?
I was in the Bahamas.
Having the time of your life.
Yeah. And then I went to a concert.
Completely.
It just hit you hard.
Just hit me like fast. So 4th or 5th day of school. I was completely fine like the first couple days of school.
And
then
that's scary. You didn't have anything leading up to giving you warning signs.
I just woke up that one morning, like with my arm hurting really bad.
And then you were diagnosed with stage 4.
Correct. And something the oncologist had shared with us was just, he was so glad that Parker had advocated him, for himself, that I had advocated for him, that his pediatrician had advocated for him, because it kind of took a village. We all kind of just had to really look at it and not brush it off, because I think as parents sometimes, especially, that kind of first week of school, you're thinking, what is this? It could be anything. But he knew, Parker knew, and I really commend him for just continuing to communicate that to us, which allowed me to communicate to, the doctor.
And that's very mature. At least, you were older and were able to communicate that. The smaller kids, they wouldn't, they're just sick and assume mom will take care of me.
Yeah.
But that's great. You were able to know the difference. This is not just flu.
Yeah. And unfortunately, with childhood cancer, that is one of the issues. A lot of kids have symptoms, but you can't really piece them all together. If you look at them separate, it could be maybe strep throat or it could be just growing pains. So I think really just taking note of those symptoms and talking to your doctor is really important.
Well, bravo, Parker.
Thank you.
Really, really. Okay, well, I think that is very helpful knowledge for everyone to know how quickly these things can happen. And you just really have to be on it, on your doctors, communicate with your child, whatever the age is, as best they can communicate on their level.
Absolutely.
And go for another opinion. If you're not getting the answer and that's not the answer, go. Keep going till you find the right answer, right doctors.
Absolutely.
And Miami Children's, you're in a Nicholas Hospital is a very good location. I think you're in the right place.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you to Brian Marketing for having us here. Beautiful studio.